Hello and welcome back to the MacGuffin Podcast. I'm John and I'm here with David Cadams from Friday the 13th Part 3. Did I mispronounce that? Why don't you tell the audience what it really is?
My name is David Cadams.
I asked him right before, and of course I bombed it anyway. You might know David from Friday the 13th Part 3. He played Chuck. Also might have been called Chong with the way the character was portrayed in the film.
Pretty much a direct rip-off of Tommy Chong, I would say that's true.
So going back to when you auditioned for Friday the 13th 3, were you aware of the series? Was it as big of a deal then as it is right now?
Well, I was just telling someone who was at the show here that at first they didn't really tell us it was Friday the 13th.
Really?
The actual script that I read said Crystal, Japan. But we started to piece it together, and then when I actually did get cast, they revealed that this was Friday the 13th. And I actually had not seen the first or second one. I knew they were big horror films, but I hadn't seen them. So then I did, of course, take a look and see what I was getting involved in.
So in that original script, was there anything about Japan in it at all, or were you just confused by this title?
I was confused, absolutely, yeah. It really didn't make sense. But too many things seemed a lot like Friday the 13th, so so we started putting it together. And back to the reference of Tommy Chong, they actually did have full intention of ripping off Tommy Chong's character, and I do stand-up comedy as well, so I actually have performed with Tommy and told him that I ripped off his character, and his response was, "All right, dude." So yeah, he was okay with it.
Do you know, has he seen the movie? Did he critique the performance at all, the imitation?
No. I don't imagine he may be aware of it. Many things, but that included, so I don't know.
So when you were preparing for the part of Chuck, what kind of research did you do? Did you watch the Cheech and Chong movies? Did you partake in anything?
Well, I did. I had watched all of Cheech and Chong movies. So, in fact, what was weird is in the rehearsal process, before we actually got in front of a camera, they actually had me doing Tommy Chong's dialect, like totally dude, real.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, really do it. And they actually were going for my girlfriend to have the Cheech kind of Hispanic character voice. But when we got onto the set, they changed that completely and didn't go in that direction. So.
Were you kind of relieved by that you weren't doing such a direct imitation? I think that might have hindered the film a little bit if it was so blatant.
I wanted to go much more comedic than they actually ended up doing. I thought it'd be funny to have my character be in such a stupor that he avoided death by tripping over logs or whatever. I thought there was a lot of physical comedy that could be done. But they had a very focused idea what was going to sell here. The fact that it was the Friday the 13th franchise. And I don't know if this is going to screw up anything.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just like in Crystal Lake, the power goes out a lot here at Crypticon.
Yeah, the lights went out, dude. Sorry. They also knew that the fact that it was in 3D was going to be... Because there hadn't been a 3D movie in probably 15 or 20 years prior to this,
So that's something that's really interesting about Part 3. It was released in 3D during the whole 80s 3D wave. We had Jaws 3D, Amityville 3D, all sorts of things. What was it like being on the set? How did the cameras affect you differently than on a regular film set?
Well, there was a lot of retakes because to get everything in focus, ours was before Jaws 3D or Amityville 3D. Oh, yeah. So the technology was brandly new and developed, and they did have to get even the scenes where the juggling balls or oranges, I can't remember what they were juggling, but anyway, they shot that scene many times. Even simple things like handing the joint into the camera. They just had focus issues, but they obviously resolved them. But that took some time.
And unlike movies nowadays, with these classic 80s 3D movies, people don't have the option of watching them in their aspect ratios at home with the 3D effects. Yeah. What was it like seeing it in the theater? Do you think it compares to the 3D nowadays? Is it worse, better? Do you wish people could see it in that version?
Gosh, I don't know that I've seen any 3D movies since then, so I don't really have anything compared to, but the effect was pretty pronounced in the theater, I thought. It was pretty cool.
Great. And now a lot of fans call Part 3, in the upper half of the series, one of their favorites. Jason got the hockey mask. There's so many iconic moments within the film. How was it perceived by fans or even critics when it first came out?
It amazes me to this day, like how many years later, 25 years or something, that that it has been so well received, and fans are fairly loyal. I mean, I get
Overachiever. He's right here.
imagine that, Tommy being disruptive. But anyway, yeah, no, it amazes me that the fan base is so loyal. I get fan letters almost every week from all over the world. It's pretty fantastic. I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's great to know. And one thing I was always interested in, with your death scene, you get thrown against a power box and there's all those sparks and stuff going on. Is that a stuntman? Is it you? Was there fear of getting burned?
Well, the reality is, no, it was me, and they did have a stunt coordinator. But what was interesting is that he reassured me that even though my face was fairly close to those sparks, that I would be okay and safe. But it's right before when they started to roll the cameras, they told everybody to clear off 25 feet away. I'm going, oh, really? Great. I'm safe, right? Yeah. You're just look away. So I did, and it worked out okay. I'm here, so.
And the director of Part 3, Steve Miner, has quite a horror filmography. He had done Friday 2, also went on to do Halloween H2O. What was it like on that set working with him?
Well, you know, and he also went on to direct a lot of the series of the Wonder Years. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I actually was not. That's great.
Yeah.
Big fan of that show.
Yeah, so, you know, that was obviously the first time I had met Steve, but it was great working with him. And Steve is a tennis player, and I'm a tennis player, so I went on to become friends with him and play tennis. It was easy working with him. He was very, you know, he definitely listened to the actor, and yeah. I haven't seen him in years now, but yeah, it was great for a while there.
And later on in your career, you were in the horror film The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah. Can you tell us what the process was like of you being involved in that film and making it?
Well, it was weird. Columbia had a film contest, and they wanted to promote directors who were not directors. In other words, writers in the industry, actors in the industry that wanted to direct. And they had this contest, and the director of First Power is a guy named Robert Resnikoff, and he was one of the people who won. He used us in the tests and beat out 700 people. They were like five directors that won the budget for a small film, and then with his small film, he did well enough that they wanted him to do First Power. So. It was from there that I got the part, actually. Yeah. So, and I will say one more thing about Lou Diamond Phillips, who was just truly gracious, because I had a fairly small part in that film, and he on the first day of the set, he came up to me and he said, "Hi, I'm Lou Diamond Phillips." I'm going, "Yeah, I know who you are, but I'm sorry we don't have any scenes together, but I want to welcome you to the set, and I hope you have a great time here." And I thought that was classy.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. You don't usually get that from from bigger stars of their time. Okay, so now it's years after Friday the 13th, Part 3. Do people still recognize you as Chuck if you come to a convention, or people offering you joints? How has that affected your life?
Well, you know, I'm a character actor, so I don't look anything. If you see me now, you'll notice I don't look anything like I do in the film. I don't have long hair anymore, don't have hair anymore, and I don't have a beard or anything like that. It's not unusual for character actors to look very different. So facially, no, I don't get recognized. And at conventions, they take some convincing to let them know that, yeah, in fact, I'm the guy. But they can sometimes hear it in my voice, and I do stand-up comedy, so I get people when I talk about the film in my act, they definitely remember my character. So.
And so what are you working on now? Do you have any upcoming films, or where do you do stand-up?
I live here in Seattle, Washington. I don't know where you guys are located.
Yeah, we're located here in Seattle too. That's
okay.
Great.
So I've done comedy for 11 years. Did most of that at Giggles in the U District. That's now closed. But
now it's Jiggles.
Well, and that's even closed apparently. Thank God. But so I don't do as much stand-up as I used to, but I do it from time to time. I'm doing it tonight here at the convention.
Oh, that's great.
And I also have certain gigs that I do different places. I perform down at the Improv in LA, and I also I don't do as much acting, but I do a little bit. I have a commercial agent here in Portland, and I've auditioned for work down there and up here, and comedy when I can get it. But there's a print job that's coming out for the Washington State Lottery, that you'll start to see my visage on billboards and buses involving people attending a cat park, not a dog park, but a cat park, walking their cats on leashes. So.
You know, I think that's going to be a gigantic campaign because people can't get enough of cats nowadays. And honestly, I think that's great. Chuck from Friday the 13th Part 3 is going to be on the side of a bus in my hometown. You know, it's just going to be awesome.
Well, you know, you just can't get enough of pussy, really. Did I say that? I'm shocked. Anyway, but, no, hopefully it'll be a tasteful campaign for all you friends out there. But I'm a comic. I'm sorry. I'm going to say anything.
And is there a website or a Facebook or Twitter feed where people can follow you, your fans can keep up?
I'm on Facebook, yeah, and under my name. So if you want to befriend me, feel free. I let almost anybody, unless you hound me, I will get rid of you. But otherwise, I'll let you join. Not a problem.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for your time, David, and we hope you have a great rest of the weekend here at Crypticon.
Well, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Take care.
T-1000 can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Magneto can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Even Zod can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. It's tight, don't even try to bite the side style. Mr. Spock can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Wrath of Khan can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Borg can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Because I've got space game and it feels alright.